Circulation plays a crucial role in structuring the project with three key layers informing its development. First, the pedestrian circulation is mapped by observing existing paths and informal shortcuts. These patterns help identify opportunities for improved walkability. Second, the project analyzes the interstitial voids between buildings, with the aim of reactivating the mass connective tissue within the urban fabric. Third, the vehicular network defines the primary boundaries of the site, shaping access points and forming the perimeter of intervention. By layering these insights, the project establishes key circulation nodes that not only inform the placement of the residential towers but also define a connected network of public and communal spaces, enhancing integration and accessibility across the site. The placement of the residential towers based on the circulation nodes, allowing them to grow organically from key nodes of interaction, while varying in height in response to solar analysis, maximizing sun exposure and views. Zooming in into the tower module, the architectural skin emerges as a layered interface, an environmentally responsive membrane. Its form is shaped by wind analysis using direction and speed data to sculpt the porous geometry that strategically disrupts airflow. This generates pockets of still air that encourage formation of microclimates ideal for plant growth and residential gardens. These voids reduce wind pressure and activates the facade as a living climatic skin. Responsive membranes embedded within the envelope expand in winter to insulate and contract in summer to ventilate, allowing the tower to adapt seasonally. Zooming out to the scale of the tower, the first iteration introduces an interior membrane that acts as a living system, filtering air and integrating performative ecology into the architecture. A continuous spiraling structure weaves between residential units, garden terraces, and communal areas, forming a dynamic interface between the built and the natural processes. Embedded with algae holding pockets and nutrient circulation network, the membrane functions both as lightweight structural element for itself and an active filter, purifying air, supporting vertical vegetation, and regulating the microclimate. The result is a breathable, responsive skin that transforms the tower into a living, adaptive organism. Building on the idea of a living envelope, the next phase explores porosity as a spatial and ecological strategy. Wind simulations shape the outer skin to guide airflow, foster vegetation, and form microclimatic pockets, while also creating necessary facade openings. The tower typology is further developed through rotation and form to maximize views, sun exposure, and rainwater collection. The entire system is supported by a wooden structure framework composed of a central core and an external exoskeleton. Each floor plate rotates 35 degrees as it ascends, generating a spiraling vertical geometry. The exoskeleton stabilizes the cantilever terraces and anchors the rotated volumes. The final iteration of the tower brings together all previously developed elements into a cohesive system. This version of the tower is not static but evolves across the height, both spatially and programmatically. Floor plan variations are distributed vertically, beginning with 4-bedroom apartments at the base, followed by 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and finally single-bedroom units at the top. This gradient is driven by changing social needs. Departing from the rigid monofunctional communist apartment layout, the tower introduces a diversity of unit types that enriches intergenerational living, fostering a more inclusive and adaptive urban community. The proposal interprets Block 63 not as a finished object but as an open framework, one capable of transformation rather than demolition. The project seeks to erode, layer, and activate the existing structure, reimagining it as an active interface. Portions of the original facade are retained as traces of memory, anchoring the intervention within the collective history of the block. The new communal public and residential layers are introduced, expanding both spatially and programmatically. The separation between public and residential areas is guided by the building's geometry, which structures circulation through the site while creating distinct yet connected spatial layers. Public functions include auditoriums, exhibition spaces, flexible event halls, local artisanal workshops, and wellness center. Residential communal areas offer shared gardens, co-working lounges, and gathering terraces.